Hello, Bamboo Betty here. Thank you very much for stopping by. I moved back to England about 3 years ago and bought an old rundown, almost derelict terraced house and converted it by myself with my bare hands and nothing but a spoon and a dream. And in that time, every room has been redecorated probably about 4 times. But today I thought I'd show you how I turned an old defunct fireplace into a portal of boho dreams. Almost everything here is from a charity shop or a car boot sale. Some of it is from further exotic lands, from my life in Hong Kong or Madrid or Bangkok. But don't you hate it when people say that? Don't worry, you can get it all from the car boot. Come with me. Right, it's a long story, but life is short, so I'm going to try and keep this brief. Good luck. A few years ago, had to leave Hong Kong, where I was very happily living and content in my happy place, in my perfect environment. However, life, it changes and things transpire, and I moved back to England, where I'm from, and my sole intent was to buy a house to leave all my belongings and to keep as a safe base. Well, I ended up blown in on the wind into the northwest of England, and before I even found a house, I found myself in this amazing junk shop, and 24 hours later, I found myself standing outside in the street with this fireplace, no house to put it, no way of getting it back to the place I was staying temporarily, and 2 taxi drivers. Anyway, it's been up and down 1,000 flights of stairs, in and out of basements, and back and forth in different rooms in this house. Finally, it found its perfect place, and I'm thrilled about that. And it sort of inspired the whole decor of the whole house. One of the biggest jobs when you're renovating is actually getting the old stuff out. And in this room, which was one of the worst, there were polystyrene tiles on the ceiling, inch thick of plastic wallpaper where the condensation was running down the back of the walls, so all that had to come off. It had to be replastered at the front, and also there was an old 1980s gas fire plumbed in but not working, and this whole room had just been sealed off. I'll insert some photographs for you now. So when I finally managed to get that fireplace out and the carpets out and everything to the tip, one of the best moments, one of those moments where you realise you've just kind of taken a step out of the darkness, was getting to the point where you have a blank canvas, just a hole, and it's that point where you put a candle in the hearth and light it, and all of a sudden you feel like you're in a sort of bijou luxury apartment or a fancy hotel. But whatever you do at that moment, don't turn around. Anyway, because I changed my mind so much, everything I decorate or transform, I tend to go along the lines of the smoke and mirrors method, where nothing's permanent because I'll change it in 5 minutes. So I just, nothing's nailed down, balanced, and everything's, I wouldn't say fake, but fake is fine. I'm fine with fake. And I had this painted purple at one point and it looked great, but then I found this old 70s vintage style wallpaper was almost identical to one that I used to have when I was a child, and it was also called Begonia, which is my cat's name. So that was it, both that. I thought, okay, I'll make this room nice and bright, and it will be fabulous. So, wallpapered straight over the hole, clean up the fireplace, and then just cut with a knife around the owl. It ain't straight. Don't care. Then I found in a charity shop this brass sort of fire surround. Lean that against there. And a doodah around the edges. Cover the fray. Like it already? Most of this is from charity shops or car boot sales or flea markets or my travels. But every now and again, I just feel like something new. So when the mood takes me, I jump in George Michael and tear off to TK Maxx. And I got these two planters there, and perfect plants for the planters. I went straight back to Morrison's and picked up these two. I love the sort of Aztec style, the Aztec-ish design, but also sometimes something really contemporary breaks up the vintage style, and I think can really highlight everything, make everything look a bit more comfortable, just make it look a bit more less like a sort of an antique shop or a vintage shop. Cool and stylish and modern as you like, however, let's not get too carried away. Let's not get lost in all of that, because sometimes you walk into a charity shop and you think something has just been waiting for you. I think I remember shouting out when I walked through the doors, "Did you know I was coming?" Oh, hello. Gold painted resin elephant candelabra. Nice to see you. I knew I had a home for it. Not just for Christmas. I'm definitely a more kind of designer. You can't really get enough gold. And I went through a phase quite recently. Well, actually, it's not a phase. Of painting everything I found or everything I bought gold. And this was an old box. I'll put in a before and after picture here. This was an old box from the flea market, and it was £2. It was pouring with rain. It was a horrible grey wintry day, and it didn't look, obviously from the pictures you see it wasn't really that inspiring. It looked a bit cheap, but I just thought I'll paint you gold, and now it's like a sort of secret fantasy treasure island treasure box, and you can shove all sorts of knickknacks in there, because if it's in a box it's not holding. After about 2 years of solid renovation, for a long time in the dark, because that thing where you have to kind of get one thing done before you could get the next thing done, which ended up being before I could connect the electricity back up. A lot of it was just spent in the dark with a transistor radio that the lovely neighbours next door lent me, and that was it really. It was just 16-hour days of scraping and scrubbing and painting round and round and round and round. But I did get to the point where I thought, okay, this is nice, but I couldn't bear the sight of it. So I just thought, oh, I've got unfinished business. I'm going to have to book myself away somewhere that's relatively cheap, but it's just somewhere I can just sit and do nothing by a pool and, think about what I was going to do next. So I booked 3 months in Bangkok. Don't hate me. And there off I went, and spent the winter there by the pool in a Airbnb apartment. And when I had the strength, I went shopping. And there's two of the things that are of the many things that I brought back in a suitcase. And I bought these from a lovely young man who had a shop in the Chatterjee Market in Bangkok, which is the weekend market, world famous, absolutely incredible. And he was just so delightful. I have such a lovely sentimental feeling about these two now. And the flowers were from my flower hoard, my fake flower hoard from Hong Kong, where I used to live in Sham Shui Po. There's a street market there that's on every day, all day, and practically all night. I never see them go to bed. And there's also something called, they call it the flea market, but it's not. It's a shop on Fook Wing Street, which is basically the epicenter of where everything, like toys and bling and red and gold and the stuff of dreams, it's where it's born, it's where it comes from, it's where it's exported. So a lot of the retailers go to Fook Wing Street to buy the wholesale. Anyway, these there. No modern hearth is complete without a contemporary houseplant in a brass ice bucket. Ceramic Bangkok leopards meet Warrington brass tiger. I know Kelly Hoppin is not a fan of symmetry. I am. It does wondrous things for me. Makes me very calm, very happy. And I bought these two brass candlesticks from a charity shop in Ormskirk, which is a very small town in the northwest of England. And when I bought them for the glass shades, because I'd come across two antique wall sconces made of brass that were candlesticks that could be altered into wall sconces, which I then subsequently researched and found out that they might have been part of a traveling preacher's Bible set. Particularly in America, they would go out on the road, and when it came to do their readings or their prayers, they'd set up wherever they were and nail the candlesticks to a tree. And I seem to have a pair. However, they didn't have the glass shades, and I thought they'd be fantastic in the garden, nailed to the fence for evening dining. But these are too big. Anyway, they were too big, and these someone had painted with white gloss paint. Now, I knew by looking at them that that was a terrible thing to do, and I also knew that I couldn't get it off. However, I just felt so obliged in the charity shop to buy them. I brought them home. Anyway, quick Google said, dead easy to get that off, just put them in boiling water, it will come away. Ruined the kitchen, ruined the living room, had to recover the sofa, still not over it. Don't do it. I came across a lovely Chinese style elephant stool in a charity shop, and he was $5.99, so he came home with me without hesitation, and he's now the perfect centerpiece for my portal of boho dreams. One final element that makes everything very special is hiding behind this steel resonator, which I bought when I was just about to go on tour as a country singer and singing teacher, which in the end took me around the country and then eventually took me to Hong Kong. But that is not a story for today, or if ever. I should not be allowed near a guitar. However, it's hiding the light switch, which powers the fairy lights. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my fireplace of boho dreams. Thank you for watching. I hope it's given you some ideas. Everything is temporary. You can change it when you find something new. Change it when you change your mind. Change it when you find someone new. Or if, like me, you find yourself in a position where you often have to leave somewhere in a hurry. Thank you very much for staying with me. Please subscribe if you'd like to listen to more of my ramblings or any more of my ridiculous ideas, or if you're into plants and knickknacks and cats. There'll be more every Wednesday and every Saturday. So, Bamboo Betty here, Begonia Coconut is still resting, and we hope to see you again very soon. Thanks for watching, bye bye.